Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. My name is Obedako. Welcome. Today is another day, and I've been thinking of this for some time now, and I would want to share some thoughts on it. Money, myth, money, myth, money, myth. So long as we live in this on this earth, you know, there've been a lot of things that we've been told, and a lot of them are true, and a lot of them too are things that we have to discover and see if they are really as they have, made us to believe. And money is such, it's one of those things that they told us a lot about. And generally, if you move around the world, our continent is seen as, a continent which is struggling. We are the people who move a lot. Maybe we are among the people who move around the world, looking for a better life, looking for a good life. And those of us on this land say, those who live on the continent say, we are looking for something. Generally, there are a lot of thoughts that people share, and I think that some people, honestly or dishonestly, trivialize the impact of this thing they call money. Some of them even tell us that when you serve God, that is what matters. And sometimes when they say that if you have life, then that's all there is to it, to life. So when you get up in the morning and you're breathing, it means that you have the blessings of God. I think most people just they just happy themselves. So if it's an English word, they just they just make themselves happy by a lot of this. Money is critical on this earth because even okay, I'm a Christian. If I have enough, most people, if they have enough, they'll be honest with money. I mean, when they work, they will not change the invoices, they will not change the contract, they will not go and meet somebody to take the bribe. Most people, if they were taught rightly about money, they will not steal because most people would want to go to heaven. I mean, most people would want to please God. Why people have these religious beliefs and still would do anything for money? I think that not because most people are evil, but sometimes it's because the tools, the belief system, what we know about this, those things influence us to make dangerous choices. And sometimes they even border on our philosophy, on our value for life, on our belief system, even on our religious beliefs, because he doesn't have it. And he works somewhere. He wants a car, he wants the children to go to good school, he wants to build a house. The pay is more. And so he has to do whatever he has to do to get something. Not because they are bad people, but because of how we grew up, the myth that they have told us about money. And so, my name is Obedako. I share some of those with you, and hopefully, they will help us because most people are good people until we test them with money. Most people, majority of people, are perceived to be good until they get access to money. Let's say you are a typical scenario that I most often share with people is that okay, you are in a room, you have 100,000, it's there, 100,000 Ghana cedis. Your brother or your sister is in a critical condition, going to the hospital, they say that they need 20,000 for surgery or the person will die. Most people, the money is not yours, oh. It's somebody's money. Maybe they left it there. Most people, what do you think they will do? They'll say that, nobody will see, nobody will hear. Let me take this money and let me go and save my family or my brother or my sister. And they will even say that God helped them. If you go to most of these places, most of these churches all around, number one reason people move to most of these places is money. They want better life. They want car. They want, majority of them, It's because they want better life. And I mean, a lot of us praying to God. The problem is money, let's face it. Majority, maybe 60, 70%. The problem is linked to money. And yet, that's what the solution that majority of us have in terms of money or in terms of general life. The rest of the world may be thinking differently, but majority of us think that it's a supernatural force somewhere that will make somebody to have money. That's all that they told us. And so if I don't have it, it means that there's some demon somewhere which is fighting me. And if I have it, they call it the grace of God. They call it the favor of God. They call it all kind of things. I don't subscribe to those kind of thoughts. I used to, but now I don't, because I think that a lot of things can work out well if you are taught, if the principles that you know on those things are right, and money is part of those. There are principles, there are laws that govern. There are things that people must know if they have to have money, other than cheating and lying and waiting for a miracle or going to a malam or going to a prophet for some favor. I think the people who control a lot of wealth on this earth, there's something that they know. That's why they control that. It's not yes, there are other things that happen that supported them. There are other other systems, other infrastructure that supported them. But generally, their thought on money is different from the other people who are suffering. And so I think that human beings are generally what they process. What we think about is what our lives reflect, whether as an individual, as a family, as a country, as a continent. Generally, the average thought, the group, the way we think about any topic is what the results that we are seeing is the quality of the thoughts that we process. And so money is generally part of it. And if you don't correct some of them, life, before you see it, you are just halfway through, and yet you struggle all your life because the parents will teach you something about money, the religious people will teach you something about money, the radio people will tell you something about money. If you go to school, they will also make you believe that if you're a very good student, if you get the best of course, when you come out, you'll be rich. And we know that those are not entirely true. You may have a car and a house, but that is very far from being rich. The fact that you can buy food does not mean that you're close to richness. And one of the things that people usually say is that money is because most people, the people they see as having money are people who they think are cruel or dishonest or who have cheated their way. That's what most people generally think. And so when they see somebody with money, the primary thought that comes to them is what? Is that the person is dishonest. That necessarily may not be so. And the moment you think like that, then you will never look out for the things that will help you to change your thoughts on how to get this. Today, the president was inaugurating what they call the something national. They are helping the graduates who have been at home for all these years to get job, which is a good thing. But I can tell you, most of these graduates, if they get another job, they are just going there to use it as a pathway. If they go to the street and somebody gives them just 100 cities more than what the president is giving them, they will move. Because why? People think that they need money, which is legitimate. But there are a lot of things that are also, for me, preventing us from really having the money that we think, because there's a basic money that everybody must have. I think that poverty is not a share of any human life, because once people are poor, they die early. All kind of sicknesses happen to them. They live in pain. Self-confidence is even gone. There are people on our street that we think are mad, but generally it's not because they are mad. It's because life is tough, and life is tough for most people because of money. The basic things that they have to have, they don't have. The person is sleeping in a kiosk, not because but the money is not there. The child is not going to school because they cannot afford the school fees. The child is sick, begging everybody for it because they don't have it. So those are general things, but I want to talk about the myth. People think that your chance will come, your luck will come. That is a myth. It's not just chance. It's not just luck. And they will even quote scriptures. What is the usual scripture they quote? Hard work does not bring anything. It's God who favor. And when your time comes, your time will come. And the people who are quoting those scriptures to us, when they finish, they take offering. So if your time will come, why are they taking offering? It's not true. It's not your time will come. There are things that we must do. You may not want to be a millionaire. You may not want to be a billionaire. But at least the ones that can solve primary basic things that can also help you, that can also put you in a position to help other people. If somebody comes to you to say that they need school fees 4 million, that you can help that person without worrying. That kind of information, I think every one of us needs. And so the money will not just come because when your time comes, because most people see somebody doing well, they say, oh, you've been lucky. It's not luck. There are things that people know. That's why they make progress financially. There's something that they know. The people who continue to have money is because they know something. It's not that they are waiting for luck. So if you're one of those people who believe that, when your time comes, it will hit, that's lotto. It's like the people who are taking lotto, man bet everywhere, or the general lotto that they take. Those people believe that their luck will come. Money is not luck. Money is a product of something, and particularly it's product of a particular way of looking at life, a particular way of thinking. It does not just come because your time will come. People have lived for 90 years and been poor. They've been struggling all their lives because of that thinking. That's not, you don't just hope that it will come. There are decisions that we must take. It may take a while, but there are decisions, there are choices that we make that will eventually, if you see some people, you know that this one, unless they steal, or unless somebody brings money to them, they will struggle all their lives because of the way they behave, the way they talk, the things that the belief system about money. There are so many people that when you see them, you see that this one, there's no way that they are going to be rich. They can't overcome poverty. Lack, maybe not extreme poverty. Most people have overcome extreme poverty where they get up, they don't know what to eat. But the other one that will help them to not so much worry about the school fees, the house, the car, that one, if you look at the way they look at life, because they are always looking for a breakthrough, one-time chance, that is a fallacy, it's a myth. It's something that is acquired gradually, and it's a build-up. Money is a build-up. And most of it, the knowledge that you have about money is going to be responsible for the kind of money that comes to you. Not the connection money. No, I'm not talking of that one. I'm talking of the one that you're happy to get. The one that when they are paying you, you can take that, build it, and get to a point where you know that you have built substantial wealth for yourself. So don't just wait that your time will come. It's a myth. It's not time. You have to work for it. You have to work towards it. And nobody is responsible for the kind of money that comes to you. Nobody is responsible. Don't believe anybody who's trying to tell you that he has power to make you rich. It's a product that comes out of something that you do. Majority of the people who work and be paid salary, majority of the people, it's not the best way to overcome poverty. But at least it's better. Because if that money that they pay you, if you make good decisions with it, you may get somewhere. But it's one of the toughest way to get money anyway, because when it comes, you are eating from it. When it comes, there's always a problem. So what is coming in, it may not be as much as what goes out. So it is not something that comes because your time will come. It's something that comes because you're making choices, decisions, you're working towards it. And don't wait for miracles and favor. A lot of people think that it's not a product of skill. It's a product of skill. Money is a product of skill. The people who control a lot know what to do. That's why they control a lot. The people who have been able to do something with money, it's because they know something the others don't know. Money is not something that you have to lie to get. So if you believe that you have to lie, cheat, kill to get, it's not one of those things. Yet generally, that's what most people believe. It's a myth. So he gets a new position, he gets a new job, he goes to see all the things, so he thinks that is a blessing, so he cheats and lies. No, money is not like that. Money is supposed to be had, or is supposed to be gotten by with honesty, with credibility, as much as you can. If money is coming to you and you're cheating it, you're trading your life. You shape change in your life for it. A time will come that everything will go because it's liquid. The best form of money, the security of money, is the knowledge that you have on money, the investment that you have, the quality of thought, the financial, the quality of the quality of thought you have on money, the knowledge that you have on money. That is your best security. The choices that you make when money comes to you. It's not lying. It's not cheating. It's not like what most people do. It's not even doing drugs to get it. It's not getting into politics to steal. No, those. That's not how you get money. Because the people who genuinely even have money, they worry. How much more those who have to do all kinds of connections to get it? It's not something that is designed to be lied to get. To lie to get. Money is not like that. It's a myth. Because you keep your peace, you keep your values intact. So if you grew up in an environment where you saw everybody lying, cheating, taking people for granted to get money, that is no money. That's why it doesn't stay. The people who have had the money for all these years, their philosophy of money is different. Most of them are very much ethical, very much honest, and they grow it gradually. Yes, if it comes in more, it's okay. But if you have to lie for it to come in more, you don't need it. The one who is gradually getting little and growing it is far better. So you don't need to cheat to get money. You don't need to lie to get money. You don't need to screw and beat people and kill people to get money. Hey, Sylvester, thank you. So that's something. So when you're in a group of people and you see that everybody is trying to do something to get ahead, don't worry about it. It's like they are injecting themselves with a poison. That's something about money. Everybody that you have seen running everywhere trying to grab everything, don't worry. Just let them go because their understanding of money is weak. It's a myth. They think that they just have to, they have to take it as air. Give them 5 years, give them 10 years down the line. It destroys. If you cheat to get, it will destroy you. There are two things that people serve in this world. It's either they are serving God or they're serving money. It doesn't matter who they say. If you look at their choices and their decisions, you will see that they are serving money or they are serving God. If they have to sacrifice, lie, cheat, kill people to get it, their God is money. And most people, that is their God. They just say God. But if you look at how money gets our attention, you know that you don't need to cheat to lie to get it. It's a myth. You can build it gradually. If you give yourself 10 years to say that, okay, I want to build 100,000, somebody may just get a place and just take somebody's money and say that I have 100,000. Another person may build it gradually. 10 years time, you will get it. What is important is you get it, and you got it with the right process. Because if you get to a stage where you built it with the right process, what you have become, the most important investment is the knowledge. So if you took the right path to build it, then that knowledge stays with you. If anything happens and you even lose that money, you will know what to do to get it. But there are people who just took advantage of people, stole it, lied, cheated. They got it, all right. But when something happened and they lost it, they didn't know what to do to get it anymore. Why? Because the rare money is not the paper money. The rare money is the skill. It's the knowledge. It's the understanding. It's the network that you build. And so if you do those by just everybody like what people are just doing, no, it will not stay. It will not stay. It will not stay. And a lot of us, the another myth is that some people believe that once they go to a particular school or they do the best of courses, they will get money. Look at the richest people in the world. Look at what courses that their children study. Go and look. The people who control a lot of wealth, not only in Africa or around the world, go and look at the courses that their children study. And look at the rest of the population, what they study. The rest of the population are choked on engineer, doctor, lawyer. The other people, what do they study? Some go and study. They don't worry. They study numbers. They study finance. So the information that you're studying, the engineering that you did is not going to make you richer. It's going to make you work, get a job, develop a profession. So if it's a myth for you to believe that once you have become a mechanical engineer, something engineer, you'll be rich. That's a lie. No, you will get some car, build a house somewhere, but you wait for salary every month to pay school fees. That's not richness, because it's a myth for you to believe that just because you did a particular course like the way it is. No, what really separates people is not so much the course or the school you even went to. I personally think that beyond SHS, everybody has a fair chance to get money. Majority of the people who struggle so much in terms of lack of education or literacy, even that, the percentage is not so much against them, because what makes people to overcome the lack of money is not so much the school. So if you believe that the guy in your class who was last will be poor in life, that's a myth. And you who, if you were the first in the class, you think that you'll be first. After 20 years, go and check. It's a product of creativity, of innovation, of problem solving, of endurance, of discipline, of knowledge on money. Money, people who have enough, people who have solved that problem. They didn't come because they did a particular course. No, not even they had a particular talent. No. You see, the footballers and the boxers and those people whose we talk about, like, those boys who play football somewhere, we say that they have money. They worked. For me, it's an employment. They were paid a certain amount of money. It's a talent. Just like if you're a carpenter, you work for an organization, they pay you salary. Your salary may not be as much as maybe the footballer who is playing for maybe some team in England. But the fact that the guy is playing football and they pay him millions does not mean that he understands money. His ability to grow that money, multiply it, spread it somewhere over a long term may prove that he understands money. And most of them don't. The moment they get out of the play, 5 years down the line, they lose everything. And as a matter of fact, if you look at how they spend the money when they are playing, you see that they don't have enough knowledge on how to use money and how money works. They don't know how to even grow money. The guy was in Ghana playing football in his village. He goes to England, now they are paying big money, he buys 10 cars. This is a poor man coming from Africa, but he's buying cars. Some of them cost like maybe $100,000, $200,000, $500,000. He buys a very big house in England. He doesn't understand it, because the money that is coming to 50% is going to tax. Now your career is very short. 5 years, 10 years, you are out of existence. The rest of your life, 30 years, you are on retirement. The rest of your life, the money that they pay him, he's got to multiply that money, grow it, have the right knowledge. Now, the other guy who may not have been a footballer, but who was probably a farmer somewhere, studied, built his wealth. After 40 years, you will see that the one with proper financial knowledge will be the one with wealth. The other one who everybody knew, a lot of them will go on retirement, poor, lacking. They move back to their village. They move back to why? And they will be telling you how much money came to them. It's a myth for you to think that the money that is coming to your hand proves that you understand money. Is a myth, because they're just paying you. The guy who owns the football team is paying you penny out of that. But we, the average person, thinks, oh, this guy is very rich because they pay him this every week. Anyway, maybe he's rich, but after 20 years, you will know. Because money really is first, the knowledge, the skill, the understanding that you have, the decisions that you make with the money that comes to you. That shows. So it's a myth for you to think that because somebody plays football, acts a movie, he has a big house, has a big car, the children go to big school, means that he's rich. Not necessarily so. There's a lot. So, which means everybody has a fair chance to build their wealth. Everybody has a fair chance to build their wealth. So it's not so much the cost. It's not even so much how much you paid. It's not so much with school. If you make money by lying, people will not stay to trust me. Okay, will not stay. Trust me. If you make money by lying to people, yes, people will not stay with you. People will not stay with you. So, it's a myth for you to think that because somebody is paid big money somewhere in England, it means that he has money. Or he's a musician, like the way the Ghana boys are making a lot of noise. This one has gone to buy Bentley, Land Cruiser, houses. Give them time. If they don't acquire the right knowledge on money, you think that you have nothing today, no problem. If you go for the right knowledge and make the right choices today, by the time that they are 40, 50, 60. That's the time that you're worth. Look at most of these big investors, big business people. The time that they're 60, that's the time that that's the time that their wealth, their empire is exploding. Why? Because usually that's the time that they have acquired the quantum of knowledge and skill to explode. And that's the time that the footballers start to struggle because they did not spend their life building the wealth. So it's a myth for you to think that because somebody is paid huge money today, look at even the politicians, they get access to all this. Don't worry. In their retirement, go and look for them because money does not stay with the one who is cheating, lying, killing to get. It stays with the one with ethics, with the right knowledge, the right practice. Money stays with that. And so a lot of us also think that if I have a big house, it means that I have money. Not necessarily so. It's not so much the proof. Because people who are able to build a lot of wealth, because they're able to build multiple streams. So they are not dependent on one stream. They build a lot of businesses. They're solving problems that people are paying them for. The basic primary understanding of money is not the one that they are praying for us in churches to get. That is not true. What is true is that you find a problem, you build a business around it, and you do it well, and you get to serve more people. Then you will solve that money problem. It's not the one that they are telling us. That one is not true. That one is deceptive. So if you see anybody, for instance, if you had no job, you'll be calling your friends for money. If I had no job somewhere, I'll be calling my friends, can you send me this money? Can you send me this? The moment I get job, I'm working, they pay me. At least the first course I will not. Maybe 3 weeks down the line, I'll call somebody because maybe I've not been paid enough. So same with people who are able to build wealth. They build wealth by the multiples of revenues that are coming in. So the one with money is not the one with a big house. The one with money is not the one with a big car. It's the one who is created a lot of structures, a lot of revenues coming in more than what he needs. So he has one business, another business, another business, another business. So maybe every month he has 10,000 coming from here, 20,000 coming from here, 50,000 coming from here. He's trying to multiply them, grow them. Those are the people who control money. And money comes out of finding a problem to solve in terms of economics. Not every problem that you solve will bring you money anyway. But there are problems that are in the society everywhere where people are ready to pay. Somebody collects people's baller everywhere and they pay him. And so if he goes to 5 houses and they pay him 50 cedis every month, if he goes to 500 houses and he has the infrastructure to manage that, he starts to get money. Somebody will say that, okay, I want to open provision shop. If he does it well, he becomes ShopRite. Somebody will say that I want to build houses for people to buy. Somebody will say that I want to sell cars. I want to manufacture cars. Somebody will say that I want to produce food. Those are the things that people pay. So this is basic primary understanding how people get to have money. Not the other ones that a lot of people are thinking that it's just luck, it's favor. It's not like that. It's really not like that. You will be old and you will find out that it was not like that. I've never seen anybody who tries to solve economic problems continue to push who will not overcome that. Because I think that everybody has that. And the another thing is that you don't have to compete with people. It's a myth for you to think that my friend has a car, so I must have a car to prove that I have money. It's a myth. Your friend has a car, let him have his car. If you have a bicycle, be happy with that bicycle because you have a structure. Everybody who is able to have money to a certain extent has a structure, has a plan, has a formula that he's working with. If you don't have a formula, then you'll be so much worried of your friend who has what? Your friend buys a car that is, hey, my friend has a car, it means that he's rich. No, you don't need that. You must have your plan and stick with it. You must have your plan and stick with it. You have to have a very independent mind if you want to overcome this kind of challenges that majority of the world's population is not only in Africa. Majority of the people of the world will struggle with money all their lives. Why? Because of the myth. So somebody buys a car, he doesn't have that money, he goes to borrow to buy so that it will look like that. He wants to build a big house. especially the people who live abroad, when they build a big house in Ghana, they live abroad. 10-bedroom house. He lives abroad. That house, if he sells it here, maybe it's 200,000, maybe 500,000 Ghana cedis. He does not have that money. He lives somewhere, he works 2-3 jobs, and he has come to build this house here. And nobody, he doesn't even rent it. Somebody lives there, electricity, they call him, he comes to pay. Water, they call him, he comes to pay. If you're like that, you can have money. So it's a myth for you to think that I live somewhere, I have to come and build a big house and tell people that I'm rich. Everybody knows that you're not rich. Because the house, the moment you complete that house, it starts to deteriorate. It reacts with the atmosphere, So there's always a breakage somewhere that you're using money. It constantly taking money from you. And if the money is going out of your pocket, you don't have money. It's the one that is receiving the money. So instead of you to think that, okay, if I want to build a house in Ghana, maybe I would have to build it and rent it, at least, or put it in something that the money, no, the confidence, the pride is that I've had money, I've built a very big house, 3-5-bedroom house at some place that nobody lives there, and every day I'm priding myself that I have a house somewhere, and that is wrong knowledge of money to my mind. I mean, in my opinion, it's wrong. Because why do you want to suffer so much, work somewhere? You are not among the top. You're treated badly. Nobody respects how you work. You work like an animal. And yet the money that you have got, you come here to build something, you never leave it. It's a weak understanding of knowledge. It's a myth for you to think like that. Some of them can even come and pack cars here. And they're working 3 jobs there. Who are you impressing? So people like that will never control wealth. People like that will never control. And they have nothing saved. Actually, they have nothing saved. They have nothing saved. So don't compete with others. Don't compete with others, and don't don't impress anybody. You just have to have your plan to work with it. Some people may have 100 million, some people may have 10 million. But what is important is that you have a plan to be better every minute, every day, and you have a long-term plan. It cannot be 1 year. It has to be 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years time. What you think you will worth, because when you get to 60 and you cannot work, they say go home, and you happen to live another 30 years. Do you think that you will live in penury, or you can sustain that lifestyle that you have? If they say go on retirement, are you going to depend on government to take care of you, or you would have built things that will take care of you before you leave? That's where you will show whether your thought on money was proper or not. Because if you live with a lot of myth, you will waste the money. And every decision is coming out of what we know. And if what you know is a myth is something that it holds us, but a myth, it holds us, but it's not productive. It's not true. If you go further, you go detail, you see that this one is not true. It's actually responsible for the sufferings of a lot of people, and most people have a lot of myth on that. And when people can speak especially in our country, when people can speak very good English, we think that they are very intelligent. You may be intelligent in engineering, you may be intelligent in microbiology, you may be intelligent in mathematics. Finance is a whole different intelligence. You may even be accountant. That's not me. You have overcome the money myth. Because most accountants work for money anyway. They are paid. That's all. They count the money, they can do all the ratios and the financial something, but they don't know how to get more. Because they are ahead with that myth. There's a lot of myth in them. So my name is Kwabena. I am talking about money myth. And they hold us back. They hold us back. And so the more you don't know properly about money, the more you suffer. And the more errors you have about what money is, the more pain you go through in this life. And so most people, the only option then we have is for us to cheat, to lie, sometimes to even kill, to get it, or to go to prophet and pray and wait for a breakthrough, or to wait for God to give us money. And to most people, God is a miracle worker, giving money to people. That's a wrong strategy. The Chinese are not using that. Those who are controlling a lot of wealth in this world, they are not using that. Because then why would God give us this powerful mind to think? Why would God set laws in place? So the more you understand how things work and how things get productive, the better you'll be with money. And so if you think that your salary will also make you very rich, you have to think again. It's what you do with the salary that really matters. When it comes, what you do, the decisions that you make with it. If you think that the business will make you rich, it may not necessarily be so. It's the money that comes out of the business, the decisions that you make, and those decisions are directly reflective of the kind of knowledge that you have for money. And so if you come from a very poor background, it's likely that you have to retool yourself, because subconsciously, the knowledge that you have of money is the one that is coming from your family. And if the family was poor, it's likely that the knowledge that they gave you on money is also a poor man's knowledge. So you're going to struggle all your life subconsciously with what it takes to make money. You convince yourself. The other day I was saying that if you are poor and you think that getting degrees will make you rich, you are deceived. Somebody was saying, no, why would you want to say that? Because in academics, there's a lot of money. The people in academia who have money are the people who own the universities. If you own the university, but if you work for the university, you have to have a different strategy. If you want to become a professor somewhere, no problem. It's good. But understand that it's not going to solve the money issues. There are a lot of professors who are struggling all their lives with money because the knowledge that they have is weak. The knowledge that they have on money is weak. Sometimes if you go to the market women, a lot of them have stronger knowledge in terms of money than a lot of us who sat in the classroom. Because when we were in the classroom, nobody was giving you proper knowledge. It was not meant to give us knowledge in terms of money. The other day I heard that the crazy woman was saying that, people are not able to come out with product, something. It's a quiz, it's a theory that they are giving you. If you want to create something with that theory, you have to go to where they are creating something with that. Say, with finance. If you have to create something with that, you must get close to people who are creating something with that. Not the people who are teaching it, though. The people who are creating something, they have tried. Because it takes some kind of risk to get money. If you want to get it rightly. Not the political one. Right one that you're building. Right one that you're building. And if you're waiting for a prophet to pray for you, check that as well. And if you're waiting for favor, a miracle to get it, that may not be a strong strategy. It's a skill build-up. Money is a skill build-up. And I think that is absolutely important that every one of us what's the English word? Overhaul our thinking on money. Every one of us must look at that. Because it's inconvenient. By the time you see it, you're 30 years and you still struggle. Because if you don't take care, you struggle all your life with worry on money. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. Because the myths are holding us back. To hold us back. If you wait for God, it's a myth. Don't wait for God. He's giving you wisdom. Go and pursue something. Look at the profession that you have. Look at the opportunities that are there. The people who are able to solve more problems and people do more for them are people who are aggressive. They work. They don't give excuses. They're aggressive. Let people accuse you that why are you the only one looking for money? No, solve it. It's a primary problem that every human being must solve. The money challenge, the money problem. And it's a myth for you to look for comfort when you don't have enough. You are looking for comfort. You want to go for holiday every time. Meanwhile, you don't have money. Who are you impressing? You don't have it. You just take loan, go to Dubai for holiday, go to America for holiday. You don't have enough. At least if you have maybe $1 million somewhere invested, then maybe you can go somewhere. Even that may not be enough because you're not supposed to be rich only for yourself, but you're also supposed to be rich and help others. So if you don't have enough, why are you wasting the ones that you have? And most people think that once they have a car and a house and their children go to school, That's all. That's the kind of problem that we have with the Africans who have gone to school. The average African who has gone to school, degree especially, they live for themselves. They live like we live in an environment that is developed. They don't, the really majority of them, I dare say maybe 90% or more, live selfish life. They live separate from the development of our country. They live like that. So he's a doctor. He lives like he lives in America. He's an engineer. He lives like there's no problem. Yet majority of our people need help. No, he gets a political position. He makes the decision as if the country is developed. Because by the time you go through our education system here, you become selfish. You only live for yourself. You're only looking for your career. You're only looking for your professional development. You live for yourself. You don't make decisions linked to the progress of the country or progress of our people. The poverty of the masses of our people, they don't get to us. Because if you know something, they don't even want to share it. Because they don't want to be controversial. They don't want to be accused. They don't want anybody to tell them that what they're saying, they don't want to be disagreed. They want to be perfect all the time. They want to be right. You don't have to be right. Just share what you know. You don't know who it will help. And so the money myth, most people will be held poor all their lives because of the myth that they have in terms of money. They think that money is evil. If you think that money is evil, you deceive yourself. Money is not evil. Money is neutral. Money is only evil in the hand of an evil man. And if you think that money will come to you because you pray, that's also a lie. You solve problems, that's how money will come to you. Everybody has been endowed with a gift, with a talent. And what you learn about all the other things, I think that is a topic. Financial knowledge is something that every now and then you must have a book and be reading about it. You should be going somewhere to listen, go to somewhere. Because if you don't keep updating it, then because the success that we get to enjoy it financially, they reflect our financial knowledge. And yet is about the only knowledge that they don't teach anywhere. We all are using money, but finance is the only knowledge that nobody teaches anywhere. They don't teach it in school. They don't teach it in the family. They don't teach it in church. They don't teach it anywhere how to get it. They don't tell us how to get it and grow it. They don't teach it. They don't teach us like that. They only take from us. And so it's one of the topics that almost every day you must be reading something about it. Because if you don't, then you will go and lie to get it. Then you go and cheat to get it. Then you will be looking for profit to get it because your financial knowledge is weak. The moment you get the financial knowledge build up, you see that your decisions about money start to get right. So so work on that. It's a myth for you to believe that it's something that you don't need to study. Every one of us must study it, especially if you're ambitious enough and you want to do something with your life and you want to overcome a lot of things. If you have the heart to help a lot of people, you can't help a lot of people if you don't have it. And that which you don't have is money. You can't do much if you don't have money in this life. And yet nobody was born like that. Majority of us were not born in the Queen's house. We were born in an average house. So you just have to gather enough knowledge and keep fighting and keep fighting. I never trivialize it. It plays a lot. It changes a lot. It decides where you work, where you live. Sometimes who even marry. Or who marries you or who even stays with you. There are a lot of marriages breaking because of money. Don't believe that, the wedding that they are dancing, if they borrow to do that wedding, after the marriage, the ceremony, there will be trouble. And the only reason they borrowed to do it because they didn't have it. They didn't have it because they didn't have enough knowledge to practice to get it. So they thought that once they finish college and they get a job, it means that the money problem will solve. And perchance, if you're hit with trouble, if you're hit, maybe you're in debt, you're in difficulties, you have loans everywhere, people are worrying you, you don't need to panic. It's more of the knowledge that you have that got you there. If you had weak knowledge, then you'll be in that trouble. The moment you start to correct that knowledge, the debt is not a case. So don't let anybody come and tell you this, because that's the only thing that we know. For us, everything is interpreted. So if somebody is sick, you ask the average person, if you're sick, where would you go? Most of them will go and pray. If they have financial difficulty, they will go and look for profit. A lot of things you can solve with the right data, right information. So if you have the right financial information, a lot of things you can solve. So if you have problems, especially if you're a business person and your business is in crazy situation, there are loans everywhere, it's because you didn't have the right kind of information. It means that you had a lot of myth on money. Thought that you could just cheat, lie, run fast. Then you got caught up somewhere. You know, the people who are losing their money with most of the money that they have given to most of these organizations, which promise them 10%, 20% every year, every month, is a myth. You don't have proper financial understanding. Because you should be asking the person, what are you going to use the money for? Do you think that somebody can trade and pay you 20% every month? What are they using it for? You know, so it's a myth. So you got in that situation because you didn't know much. Now, if you start to learn, maybe you can get back on good track. So money is important. Study it. It will help you. It will help me. And we need a lot of money, a lot of people to overcome poverty and to have access, become rich. We have seen a lot of poor people for far too long. So, but it won't change until we start to renew the information, the knowledge, the skill that we have, and challenge a lot of the thoughts that they have pushed on us in terms of money. If you don't challenge them, if you don't fight them, if you don't question them, then it will be trouble. And don't cheat, don't lie to get it. It's not important. If you're principled, you will learn faster than if you cut corners and break a lot of things, because then they will come back and fight us. You know, and until you qualify, they don't push you to the next stage anyway. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much.